Liz Hirsch Naftali was in the room. She joins us now. Her 4-year-old great niece, Abigail Moore Edan, was the first American hostage released back in November after spending 50 days in captivity. Thank you so much for coming on the program. I know you've remained a part of this group of families in regular contact with the administration. What were the key questions yesterday for Jake Sullivan, and do you feel you got answers?
Well, thank you first for having me. And I think the key questions were just about the news that we've been hearing that's being reported. Is it accurate? And are the negotiations as intense as we are told they are? And I think that this gave Mr. Sullivan an opportunity, and Mr. McGurk was in the room as well, to give us a little bit of a feeling of what's happening with the negotiations, but not to give us the details, obviously, because they can't. But I think it was a great opportunity. We had met with Mr. Sullivan about 10 days ago, and he was committed to meeting with us again. And this gave these families, there are 8 American hostages, 6 who we know are alive, and it gave us an opportunity for us to talk about and for these families to share, and for Mr. Sullivan and Mr. McGurk to just hear the pain of these families, but also to give them some understanding that there is cautious optimism that there is a deal and that they are working 24/7, and we're thankful for them to have taken that meeting with us in their busy time. But also it was an opportunity for Mr. Sullivan to, reconfirm the commitment, the 24/7 commitment of himself, President Biden, Secretary Blinken, the administration, and that the releasing of the 136 hostages is their top priority.
On one hand, we are hearing this optimism. Our reporters in the field are hearing that optimism. But just yesterday, Prime Minister Netanyahu explicitly ruled out 2 key Hamas demands: no pullout from Gaza, no exchange of Palestinian prisoners for hostages. And he said flat out, none of that will happen. How are you and the other families feeling about Israel's approach right now?
Well, first, remember, we're the family members, and this for us is a humanitarian crisis. And what I can say is that what we hear on the news and some of the posturing, we believe that there is a serious commitment on the Israelis' behalf and all these people, the Egyptians, the Qataris, with the Americans, in negotiating for the release of these hostages. What I will say is that it's a negotiation. So there's people having to give in and to get. And for us, the only thing that we are committed to as families is the release of these hostages. And just to remind everybody that on October 7th, over 1,200 people were murdered. 40 of them were Americans. 250 were hostages. And there's still 136 people that remain in Gaza. And the last thing for Prime Minister Netanyahu to want would be his legacy to be what happened on October 7th. I don't think that would be what any leader would want, to have that absolute failure of security to be his legacy. And right now, his legacy is based on bringing back these hostages and finding a way for Israel to move forward. And the only way Israel moves forward is if these hostages are released. And they have to be released soon.
Let me ask you about one particular hostage who was released. And I know you're very careful about respecting Abigail's privacy. But is there anything you can share at this point about her experience in captivity, and tell us how she's doing now?
Well, thank you for asking. And yes, we are very, very cautious because she's a 4-year-old. Look, we understand that for 50 days, she and the others were pretty much silenced. And you imagine a 4-year-old who's running around and is basically not able to run around, not able to laugh, not able to cry. And that was her experience. Saying more than that, what I will say is that she was blessed to come home on the 50th day. It was a miracle. I mean, these hostages now we're talking about have been gone 117 days. It's more than double. And what I can say is that Abigail is a energetic, beautiful, really intelligent little 4-year-old who has returned to be with the family after her parents were murdered. But she goes to go to school and she plays. And, I will just say that for our family, Abigail returning was give us the ability to move forward. The other hostage families, until their relatives are back, they cannot move forward. And I say that for the nation because Israel is such a small country and people are all related, that until these 136 people, hostages, return, it makes it impossible for Israel to move forward. We are blessed, and I'm here because everybody worked really hard to make sure that there was a formula to bring out the first hostages, and we're going to do everything to make sure the second group comes out and they all come out, so that the blessing of having Abigail home with us, this beautiful 4-year-old who we want to have a beautiful life after everything, we want that same for all these other families.
Well, from a personal perspective, I think after everything you've been through, the way you are standing by these families, which can only provide a beacon of hope for them about what may come, is extraordinary. And we thank you so much for taking the time. Liz Hirsch Naftali.
Thank you.